Hey, this is Mr. Alexander, and I'm going to show you how to solve absolute value equations. When I say solve, I mean get this x by itself. This is a little bit different than just solving for x without the absolute value sign. So let's go through that. So what this absolute value sign says is anything inside of these two bars can be positive or negative, and it's going to spit out 18. So we don't have one equation here, we actually have two. One of the equations is x over 2 equals 18, and the other equation is x over 2 equals negative 18. And so the solution to this equation is actually going to be two answers. So I'm going to solve them both. Well, to get the x by itself here, I multiply 2 on both sides, so x equals 36. And over here, to get the x by itself, again I multiply by 2, and that's going to be x equals negative 36. So if you wanted to summarize that, you might write x equals negative 36 comma 36. That's your answer. All right, so there's two solutions. Over here, actually let's go, right here first. I'm going to zoom in a little. Same process here. We're going to take the insides here, do negative x plus 6 over 2 equals 3/4. But then I need to write a second equation. I need to write negative x plus 6 over 2 equals negative 3/4. So I'm going to have two answers. Here, multiply 2 to both sides. 2 times 3/4, it's negative x plus 6 equals, well, you can just multiply that 2 to the top there, and that's 6 over 4, or just 3 over 2. And then I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides, so negative x equals, well, 3 over 2 is 1.5, and 1.5 minus 6 is negative 4.5, which, when you get rid of the negative by dividing both sides by negative 1, you get x equals just 4.5, or if you prefer, 9 over 2. That's one of the two answers. This one, same process, multiply by 2 on both sides, so negative x plus 6 equals negative 6 over 4, or negative 3/2, or negative 1.5. Now I'm going to subtract 6 from that. Negative x equals negative 7.5, because I subtracted 6. So x equals 7.5, or if you prefer, 15 over 2. So the two answers here, x equals 9 over 2 and 15 over 2. Or you can keep it as a decimal if you'd like, 4.5 and 7.5. Up over here, same exact process. I'm going to take this 2x minus 4, set it equal to 8, but got two equations, not one. 2x minus 4 equals negative 8. All right, let's solve them both. Add 4. 2x equals 12. Divide by 2. X equals 6. Add 4. 2x equals negative 4. Divide by 2. X equals negative 2. So the answer, x equals negative 2, positive 6. Two answers. Here's a fun looking one. Before we go ahead and make our two equations, we're going to want to get rid of this 3 and this 6. So there's some algebra we're going to want to do before we break it up into two equations. So the first thing I want to do is add 6 to both sides. That gives me 3 absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals 14. And then I'm going to want to get rid of that 3 by dividing it. divide by 3, divide by 3. So absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals 14 over 3. I'm going to keep that as a fraction because that's an ugly decimal. Now I'm ready to write my two equations. I'm ready to write my 2x minus 1 equals 14 over 3, and 2x minus 1 equals negative 14 over 3. Positive and negative. Right? Add 1. 2x equals, well, 1 is just 3 over 3. So when you add 1 to 14 over 3, it becomes 17 over 3. Divide that by 2. 2x equals, well, when you divide by 2, the 2 is going to go into that 3 there. So that's just, x equals 17 over 6. Same thing over here. Add the 1. 2x equals, let's see, negative 14 plus 3. So if I add 3, that should be negative 11 over 3. 1 is 3 over 3. And divide by 2. Negative 11, that 2 is going to go to that 3, so negative 11 over 6. Those are the two answers. X equals negative 11 over 6, comma, 17 over 6. Let's do one more. That's a real fun looking one. So the process here is on this problem, I'm going to do the exact same process. I'm going to say, okay, 5x minus 1 over 2 equals 3x plus 1 over 4. And also, I'm going to do the positive and negative just like before. 5x minus 1 over 2 equals negative 3x plus 1 over 4. So I'm going to solve these one at a time. I'm going to do this one first. Let's multiply both sides by 4. So when you multiply these by 4, those 4's go away. 4 over 2 is just 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Or sorry, I'm going to multiply both terms by 2. So that's 10x minus 2 equals 3x plus 1. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 to both sides. 10x equals 3x plus 3. Subtract the 3x. Minus 3x minus 3x. 7x equals 3. And then, of course, x equals 3 over 7. That's one of the two solutions. Let's do this one next. Same process. Multiply both sides by 4. So those 4's cancel out. I'm left with negative 3x plus 1 over here. Except that negative needs to be in parentheses. So this is actually negative 3x minus 1. And 4 divided by 2 is 2, so this is still 10x minus 1. All right, same process. I'm going to add the 1 to both sides. Before I do, I should have multiplied that 2 to both these things here. This is actually 10x minus 2, isn't it? So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. 10x equals negative 3x plus 1. I'm going to add 3x to both sides. 13x equals just 1. So divided by 13, x equals 1 over 13 is my other solution. So those are the two solutions. So all we're doing here is solving for x. That's all we've done. So the strategy overall, write two equations, one positive, one negative, solve them both for x, and you'll be golden. Thanks for watching.